Welcome to Bad Wrench Automotive. Okay, so today I was doing an oil change on this Honda. This is an '03 Honda Accord, and they do go up to '07 in the same body style. So if you have this vehicle, this is what you're going to need to do an oil change service on this car. Let's go ahead and run through this oil change service on this Honda Accord so that if you do this in your own garage or driveway, you have everything that you need and that you know what you're looking at. Let's start underneath the hood and then walk around. Okay, so underneath the hood, this is where you would fill. It tells you what grade oil you need to be using. So make sure you keep to this cap. Don't change the oil grade any different than what's here unless the owner's manual says you can do that. This is where you're going to check. Make sure that you don't overfill. So when you pull the dipstick for the oil, make sure that it's in the proper range. If you overfill, the crankshaft could slap the oil and break the engine. So don't overfill. Also, you're going to want to check all your fluids. So windshield washer fluid, coolant, make sure your coolant is in the proper range here. Also, you're going to check your brake fluid. Now, if your brake fluid gets lower, what this could tell you is that you may have a leak or that your pads have worn. So make sure that you're in proper range. If you have any questions, take the tires off and do a brake inspection just to make sure. While you're underneath here, you're also going to be looking for any leaks, vacuum leaks, oil leaks, or coolant leaks on the engine. Make sure everything's in really good shape. Check your serpentine belt. Make sure your serpentine belt is in good shape. It's not cracked, torn, or worn. If it is, get it replaced. You don't want this to cause you to be the reason that you're stalled out on the side of the road. Also, most people miss this one down here. This is your power steering fluid. Make sure you check that power steering fluid. Again, it will have hashtag marks or cross marks on it for where it needs to be for full. So make sure those are full. Check all coolant hoses coming off of your radiator. Check your radiator. These caps tend to leak over time. Check these. Also check your battery. Make sure you don't have any green corrosion. Green corrosion means that you have, obviously, corrosion, but you have an electrical corrosion. And what this will do is keep the battery from being charged properly. And when you call for charge to start the car, if you have a bunch of green corrosion here, it'll break the connection. So very important to make sure these are clean. If you do have a top post style like this, I suggest using these insulators. It is really the best way to do this. Also, good time to check your air filter. If you have, any concerns or you haven't checked it in a while, it's always good to open this up, make sure that the filter is clean. If it isn't, replace it. This affects fuel mileage and engine performance. So very good thing to check and keep tabs on. Also, once we've kind of done our under the hood inspection, we're now going to move out of the hood. And we want to check lights, our high beams, our low beams, our turn signals. Also, we're going to check tires. Make sure that we have the proper air pressure in the tire. Too low, and we're going to consume fuel. Too much, and we could risk blowing the tire up. So make sure that you use proper PSI. Also, this is a good time to grease your door pins and bushings and any slides. Usually I will do this every other oil change depending on how much the vehicle is driven. Again, all tires. Back here, we want to check all of our lights, brake, clearance, reverse, and turn signal. We also want to check our license plate light. I'm not going to show it because the plate is on this vehicle. But make sure that all those lights work. When they don't, you have basically an excuse to why the cop can pull you over. Now, where is the filter located? Guys, that filter is located back here below the exhaust manifold. So that's where the oil filter lives. Let's see if I can get a clearer shot of it here for you guys. So right about there, center shot. So that's where the oil filter is, and where you guys access that filter is from underneath the vehicle. I choose to run my vehicles up on ramps. It makes it a lot easier for me. So I run it up on ramps. I'll go underneath. It'll take a 13mm wrench to take the drain plug loose. You will need the proper socket for removing the filter, or you can kind of get underneath there with one of the crimp style oil filter wrenches. And you could use the crimp style to twist that filter off, spin the new one on, but when you spin it on, make sure you go one hand tight. Don't over tighten the filters. Some people over tighten them and then they can't get them off. I do put a little snug to it after one hand tight just to make sure that it's not going to come loose, but I do this so that my customers don't have to worry about a filter falling off. If the filter falls off, you're going to lose all the engine oil and take out the engine. So very important to make sure you do that process. Guys, when doing an oil change, this is the perfect time to do inspections. Body panels, anything that might stand out. Even cleaning the interior, a quick clean, run a vacuum through it, wipe down your windows. These are all important steps when you're doing an oil change. And the more you do this and the more you keep your vehicle maintained, the more life you're going to get out of that vehicle. Guys, I want to say thank you for all your support. Continue hitting the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you get notified when I drop videos, and I'll see you on the next one.